Good morning and welcome to our first mission in Canada. We are at Joffre Lakes today. Oh God, another uphill. You know when you start a new hike and you forget that the whole point is to go uphill the entire time and your lungs are burning and your calves are burning after 10 minutes and you think, why am I even doing this? Well, that is my exact emotion right now, but I'm extremely excited for what today has in store. There are 3 lakes here at Joffre, and as we're heading into winter, there's no tourists. First one in the car park this morning, and now taking on the ascent, which is a few hours up to that top lake. And then we're gonna see how high up the glacier we can get as well, because I've got some spikes for my shoes, so we can put up with a little bit of ice and a little bit of snow. But already within 10 minutes, you can see there's some snow around me, which is beautiful. Now we are in bear country as well. We've got grizzlies, brown bears and black bears here, but because it's normally a well-trodden path in the summer, chance of running into one's fairly low, but not zero. However, you have to factor in that the cameraman never dies, so as long as I've got the camera in arm's reach ready to film the bear, it's not going to maul me, or if it does maul me, I'll survive. That's my logic anyway. It's like a dream actually, because I'm the only one here, the only one making a racket, otherwise it would be silent, just surrounded by these snow-covered trees. So we'll push on now for about an hour, I think, before we get to lake number 2. But when you get here, within 50 meters of the park entrance, you can already get to lake number 1. So we saw that on the way through. Beautiful, reflecting the stunning mountain backdrop behind it, and that's still lake water. And the lakes get more and more beautiful as you go up, so we've got even more to look forward to. God, this is gorgeous, isn't it? Oh man, what a good idea. Now we're into a bit of ice already, so the winter tires are gonna have to come on pretty soon, I think. All right, the winter tires are getting deployed. Box, 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 opposite to Verstappen. Wow, ladies and gents, just like that, we are at the second lake. Came out of nowhere, that reflective glacial lake just absolutely stuns you as you arrive next to it when you're not expecting it. This is just incredible, isn't it? Did not expect it to be this beautiful and to have the entire thing to myself. We're at lake number 2 now, and you can see the way the glacial lake reflects the mountain behind it. And the best sound in the world, absolute silence. Unreal. I can't get over this feeling of bewilderment. It doesn't happen to me often after 2 years of being on the road, but not done much in cold climates, and this is taking the biscuit for me today. Amazing. Going to run out of hyperboles in a minute because this is just magnificent. We're at the 3rd lake now, walking our way around it, and I'm just still stunned by mainly the fact that I've got it to myself, to be honest. If you were going to design a trek to do in a small amount of snow on your own, like it couldn't be more beautiful and more perfect. So now I'm just thinking I've got to come back in the summer, but would I get the same experience of being completely alone? Look at that. I'm like a kid at Christmas. and we have made it to the upper campground, which once again is deserted. So we're the only people still, and this is the end of the trail. So we've done pretty well to get this far, and it took exactly 2 hours. I wasn't rushing, wasn't going slowly, and now I've had the brilliant idea of continuing up this glacier. There's no path, and we can just send it up towards the mountain that way for a little bit. Rocks are very snow covered. Don't know how far we'll get, but we'll give it a bit of a go. Now I've got no choice but to follow the only set of footprints here, because there's no way I'm tracking up that on my own. Recipe to snap an ankle and not get rescued, which is not what we want in general, but also because we've got a hike tomorrow as well. So I'm following these footprints that are about 2 days old, if I were to guess, and heading up this way. Maybe it'll take us up the glacier, maybe it'll take us to this waterfall, but either way we're getting a bit of height on the lake, which is pretty cool. All right, this is it. This is as high as I can get while guaranteeing almost 100% that I'm not going to die. So you can see the rest. You can see the rest of the glacier above me there, and we are standing looking at this panoramic view on this fresh snow of Joffre Lake number 3, and then it drops down into 2 where we came from. What an absolute delight this day has been. So glad that we made this happen. And tomorrow we've got even more to look forward to with Panorama Ridge, which is going to be arduous, far more difficult. It's going to be a long mission. It's almost a marathon up to the top and down again in a single day. So I'm glad we did it this way round, enjoyed this and didn't tire the legs out too much. Back in the car after a safe journey down, and that took 4 hours in total at a moderate pace, just so you know. And it turns out I'm not the only person here. Saw a few people on my way down. They're just lazy and arrived late. So now we've got a car park full, about 20 odd cars in here now. So yeah, it's not just a derelict part of the season, but it's a good idea to go early, because what a pleasure it was to have that lake to myself. And if you're looking at me and you've watched this video and you've seen all my videos, or maybe this is one of the first and you're thinking, this is pretty cool, this guy's got the confidence and ability to go and do this kind of thing on his own, I want you to rest assured that it's all completely self-taught and learned. So if you're watching this and feeling inspired like I used to, you've just got to gradually expose yourself to increasing stimulus over time. So for me, what that looked like is when I was 18, 19 years old, I went and climbed the highest mountain in Wales, which was a 4-hour drive away from where I grew up. And then went to do the highest in England, and then Scotland, and then went over to Slovenia and did a big day hike there, and gradually, bit by bit, increased my limits and my confidence and my technical ability and just my overall competence. And that's not to be understated when it comes to hiking experience, because it makes all the difference, and then you can just have the confidence to go out and do these things whenever you want. So thank you for joining me on today's adventure. It went far better than I could have hoped, and we've got another one to look forward to tomorrow. I'm going to be going up the way more arduous Panorama Ridge, so I'm glad my legs are feeling pretty fresh still, because that's going to be almost a marathon of trekking, a lot of ascent, and yeah, a big day. But looks like the weather's holding. It's snowing, but yeah, we'll see what the terrain's like up there. So I'll see you there on the next adventure.
Oh, you want me to say that?
You have to.
Oh, I have to. Like and subscribe.
No, say it with conviction and look.
Please like and subscribe. Adam Radcliffe at YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.